students and schools sit inside their cultures. They sit inside of very complex societal challenges. And something that I've spent a great deal of time thinking about is violence and in schools and violence outside of schools. And I do think I've spent a great deal of time in my psychology and in my anthropology class teaching and talking about this. And in particular, my focus has been actually violent masculinity. But the other thing that I can't help but notice, particularly with my work in Pakistan and Indonesia as well as Burma, that violence often emerges out, from disconnection. And so when students are feeling disconnected and they don't have one person that is sort of helping them through life, or they don't have a network of people that care deeply and their role models are lacking, or they're suffering, or they don't have enough food, and a new version of our challenges emerged with the disconnection associated with COVID-19 and also remote school. With remote school, we stopped having these shared spaces. And it turns out for younger students, so for some older students, right, they had real memory and real understanding of what shared spaces are and norms and values associated with those shared spaces. And for younger students, and in particularly like 6th grade through 9th grade, there was a lot lost there. And so I'm not so worried about the academic loss, and they're not going to catch up. I'm actually more concerned about the social dynamics associated with misunderstanding, disconnection, and the loss of those shared spaces and values. And so, as a result, I think our Amherst Regional Schools has been working using restorative justice as a process for many years. And we've had some, fits and starts and some false starts. And so getting students to engage in dialogue, which is one of the things that I'm here for, it can be really challenging. And it does have to start with what we call motivational interviewing with students, and not just correcting behavior or correcting what we would consider wrongdoing, but really acknowledging that, and learning about individual behaviors and why someone might be reacting or reacting more strongly than you can imagine. And we don't necessarily know everybody's story. And so it is our job as adults to hear all of those stories and to really truly try and connect. And I think with COVID-19, students were just slowly disconnecting. And right now we're working really hard to reconnect. And I would say that the Karuna Center's multi-pronged strategies have been spectacular. The Karuna Center has created this approach which involves care teams in the schools. So these leadership teams that sit inside schools and know the culture of the school, know where the challenging spots are, and those care teams are, for us, designed to sort of, they're a cross-section of all of the populations. People that connect all of the different students in our schools. And the hope will be that we can, by using these care teams and using this peer network and then using the expertise of Robert and Tony, who have been our experts in violent extremism, that we can sort of spread the ideas and encourage the dialogue, encourage the conversations, and actually build a system. And our hope is sort of a mentorship program for older students, modeling for younger students.